If your child has ADHD, I want you to have the tools to actually address and fix the underlying root issues versus just trying to manage and mask the symptoms that come along with it. And for so many kids that have ADHD symptoms, I very often find that they have a symmetrical tonic neck reflex. So I want you to check to see if your child has it so you can start understanding the root issues to their problem. To look for a symmetrical tonic neck reflex, you're going to have your child on their hands and knees, and you're going to direct their head up and down. And what you're really going to be looking for is to see if their elbows collapse when you're directing their head down. If they do, then that means that they have this symmetrical tonic neck reflex, and it's most likely feeding into part of the problem of their ADHD. Looking for this reflex will work best if their hands and knees are at 90-degree angles and their belly is towards the ground, so they don't have an arching back. The symmetrical tonic neck reflex is a reflex that we're all born with. It's a primitive reflex. And this reflex should mature and go away by about the first year of life, but a lot of kids hold on to it and retain it. And maybe you found that your child has a retained STNR as well. When kids have a retained STNR, they can commonly struggle with just posture and fidgeting, as well as general struggles in school with attention and learning and reading. The way that our brain develops is first we need to develop and mature our primitive reflexes, which, like I said, should happen around the first year of life. And then when that happens, you can progress up that pyramid in a sequential pattern to where you reach the top and your frontal lobe is working like it should. But kids with ADHD, their frontal lobe is usually lagging or not firing or not as developed as it should be. And a lot of that comes from they're stuck at that very bottom where they still have primitive reflexes. So what I found works really well is you work from the bottom up and you start developing primitive reflexes, and then you develop the cerebellum and so on and so forth until their frontal lobe is working really well. I do have an ADHD ebook where I go through all of these underlying mechanisms one by one. Feel free to grab that. And if you want answers the quickest, schedule a phone consult with me and we'll go through all of this.